Folks, I'm Alan Waters, and I'm the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate here in Rhode Island this year. If you haven't heard my name so far, I hope you'll remember it. You may have heard of my opponent in this race, Jack Rhode. He's had a career of service in the state and federal legislatures. To me, that means he's had a lot of public paychecks and very little real-world experience in the private sector. On May 12th, Jack proved that point when he sent out an email blast to everyone he could here in Little Rhode. You probably got a copy, whether you read it or not. I read it, of course, and I was amazed at how out of touch one sitting senator could be. Jack made 3 points in his little editorial. First, he claimed total credit for creating the $150 billion relief fund in the recently passed CARES Act. It's true that money was appropriated. It's also true that as a backbench member of the minority in the U.S. Senate, Jack Rhode had next to nothing to do with framing that legislation. Here's my problem with his email statement. He really thinks he can put one over on you. He expects that you are not paying attention and will happily swallow his claim to authorship, hook, line, and sinker. In his second point, Jack claims he introduced a pair of bills to modernize unemployment insurance. Okay, he probably did. But once again, he's trying to slip one by you. You can introduce anything you want. Getting it passed as legislation and then seeing it made law is quite a different matter. Maybe unemployment insurance needs updating. If so, simply filing a measure that is almost certain to be buried in committee can't be considered a meaningful act on your behalf. But that's what Jack wants you to think. Finally, he told you his housing assistance fund proposal would single-handedly prevent the COVID pandemic from costing you your house. Nobody wants you to lose your house, but a proposal isn't even a file piece of legislation, much less a new law, much less the answer to your mortgage woes. But once again, Jack Rhode expects you to miss that important detail and instead be dazzled by his stupendous accomplishments on your behalf. You wouldn't take that kind of big talk with no action from your plumber or your accountant, would you? No, you would not. You'd fire that guy and find someone to replace him who would actually work for you. So while you're shopping for a new senator this fall, please remember that I'm Alan Waters, and I come from the real world just like you do. That's why I approve this message.